The following podcast is an enticing media production.
Where the Nell have you been? Join us for conversation about life, business, and everything in between. Welcome to What the Nell, where we've got stories to tell. Here's your host, Nell Tice.
All right, you guys, welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast, the EcoPreneur's Edge edition. I'm just going to try not to cry because we are doing the season-ending wrap-up. I am here with my amazing co-host, Mikee Bentz. Mikee, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Nell. I wasn't gonna cry or think about crying until you mentioned it. So now, I have crying by osmosis or whatever. But no, this has been so good. For those who don't know me, I'm Mikee with two E's. I'm also known as Metro Mikee on all social media platforms. The two E's in my name stand for the environment and everyone, and experiences and ethics, and the EcoPreneur's Edge, and all the other hidden E's that I've been able to find along this amazing journey. But I can't believe now we're at the end of season 2. We've done it already twice.
Yeah, it's actually kind of mind-boggling. When I set out to do this podcast, I knew that I was going to talk to some amazing people along the way. I love meeting new people. We just got off a recording with another amazing guest, and I think I even mentioned I love being put into a room with new people I don't know and connecting authentically, not knowing anything about anybody. And a lot of times that's what we end up doing here before we start recording is we hop on and we go, okay, what are we talking about today? Oh, we have a guest. Oh, that's right. And it's just very organic and authentic. And I just absolutely love that about what we've done here. And we've had such an amazing, well-rounded season. And, I think wrapping it all up, I just, wow, some things stand out to me, but the whole season in general has just been incredible, I think.
I would agree. And literally, we were just having a conversation about how good it is to have a niche and stick to our theme, but also find and explore all the facets that can be involved in that theme or niche. So I know in season 1, we did an episode on goal setting.
Yeah.
So in goal setting, obviously we set our goals and we hit our goals for our second season in a row. But something that I love to do after or during or planning the goals is evaluate, what is working and what isn't. So obviously we can go through and talk about, each episode. We did our AI and sustainability episode. We did our procuring energy. We did our life hacks. We did our data and podcasting episode. And, with each guest, it just kind of like we're so blessed to talk to people, but we raise the bar each time.
Yeah.
So do you think that all went well now?
Oh my gosh. I 100% do. And it's not even that I think it went well. I know it went well. Some of the EcoPreneur Edge series episodes are some of the best performing episodes that I have in terms of retention rates and listener downloads, listens, I should say they're two different things, and on YouTube viewership. So it's obviously resonating with people. And, the common theme with niching down, as we say, the more you can niche down, typically the more loyal your audience members will be. And we've definitely seen that. I think that is you can go onto YouTube and see the views on some of the EcoPreneur Edge series episodes and see that data right there. So, what we're doing is obviously working. And am I remiss in announcing that there will definitely be a season 3?
I don't think not at all. We had to spoil a couple things. So yes, we are so looking forward. We're going to have our own, planning period like we always do between seasons.
Yes.
And then we're going to come back stronger than ever. So I'm so super excited for EcoPreneur's Edge season 3. But now let's just brainstorm a little. What could we do to up our ante for season 3?
I mean, I love that so season 2 was the first experience that we've had with offering guest appearances for this series. And I think that was super successful. I would love to have more of those experiences for sure. But in terms of brainstorming what we could do differently, my gosh, I think we could really reach out to some incredibly impactful guests. And hopefully they would come on.
Food
But
babe, we're looking
yeah,
at you.
we are looking at you. Check your DMs. There are some I would really love to get more into certain topics. Um, Food for sure, because that is such a hot topic right now. And it's something that I know you believe in for the past 20 to 30 years between the two of us. And I toxic products, things that we consume in our bodies. I would love to do a hard focus on that. I would also love to do a hard focus on environmental sustainability because I do agree, like you say, with the two E's in your name. If we don't have environment, we don't have everybody. So I would love to see hard focuses and maybe even do like a mini series within the series.
I think that sounds like something that would exactly elevate, to use two E's in a row, season three. And I think that, if you're listening and you know somebody who would be a great guest for us to have on to host or to interview, because I don't know, I'm feeling broadcast journalism like so hard. I want to like ask the uncomfortable
Oh
questions. I
yeah.
want to get to the bottom of stories. So if you know someone who needs grilled, send them my way.
Yeah, we want to grill. I love that.
But also, I think, and I know that we were talking about it, and maybe I'll spoil it, and maybe not even spoil, but I'll just speak it into existence so it becomes a challenge for us to accept.
I like it.
I think season three needs a live episode.
Ooh, we can totally do that.
I think season three needs a live
Oh
episode.
yeah. Okay, let's get on that. We do have our, planning and brainstorming sessions. We'll take a little bit of a summer vacay. Now, that's not to say that, if you're listening to this and you listen to other What the Nell episodes, What the Nell is not taking a summer vacay. I am not saying that there won't be maybe a week or so where there's not an episode, because I am planning on leveling up in the podcast in general. If you are subscribed to the podcast, which you absolutely should, you will get a weekly update with the latest episode information and links and just, some little things like that. The reels have changed a little bit, focusing more on Instagram. There are some strategic changes that I would like to make. But my goal here is to even make the experience better for the Ecopreneur Edge series too. If this is something that you're passionate about, and we should even offer up to the listeners. If you want to be a guest, if you have thoughts, if you want to chime in on the conversation, we would absolutely welcome you too. Have you always wanted to be on a podcast? Are you passionate about what we're talking about? Let us know. There is a link in the show notes to sign up for guest spot. So fill that out. We want to talk to you. We are actually kind of cool people, and we do make people feel comfortable.
That's our general feedback so far. So if the pattern holds.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about it. And I would love to talk about some more controversial topics too.
I even want to discuss it here in the wrap up too, but I feel sustainability of politics. I know, like
Yeah.
there was my Mikey drop moment.
Oh my gosh. I feel like, and let me tell you that it has been a week. I have always stuck by my value of, maintaining integrity with everyone and never bringing politics into our business. And that's not always been well received. And I'm quickly learning that no matter what your stance is, it's never going to be well received or quote well received.
Exactly. And I don't know, I feel like there's a shift right now happening where a lot of misplaced trust has been put institutions, in things, in people, in bribed people,
Mm,
there's a lot of information, and some of it is speculative and some of it is factual.
sure.
But things are changing, and I think that it's really time for the next group of
Mhm.
uh I don't even want to say influencers, but like truth tellers,
Yeah,
storytellers.
yeah.
It's time for a new generation. So maybe that's you and me now.
Maybe it is. I have no doubt on some level, obviously we all have purpose and we're here to serve that purpose. So if that's us and, why fight it?
So
Why
I
fight
don't
it?
know. That was on my mind for
Yeah.
elevating season 3.
Yeah, well, that is an elevation for sure. But, I love that we're talking about the future and season 3, but what have some of the highlights of season 2 been for you, Mikee?
So each guest that we were able to host this season brought something that added immense value to our shows, but
Mhm.
also gave me perspective to appreciate. I know I'm very well rounded and I love being able to talk about just about anything,
Mhm.
but I know I'm not an expert in everything.
Right.
So a highlight for me was getting to speak to people who were experts in the things that they're doing and the general knowledge that they can share to me, even if, like, I know I'm never going to be a neurosurgeon, but I'd love
Right.
to talk about it sometimes,
Sure.
you know? So that was really like the highlight. And looking back on our episodes, I really think that the daily life hacks one
Hmm.
was the best one for me to go back and listen to. And
Mhm.
man, did we share some gems.
Oh my gosh, did we ever? I didn't actually even think, I go into some episodes going, okay, this is my expectation level of what I'm going to provide. And then in some of the episodes, I'm like, man, we really went above and beyond with what we provided. And that was definitely one of them.
Listening back on that one a few times, I was like, man, this could have been 3 episodes for all the value that was provided.
Yeah, it definitely could have been, but I do love it. Here's one thing I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change the length of our episodes. I think they're perfect time. I think it's great for somebody to listen to on a commute. It's really valuable knowledge in what can be considered a short period of time, and I think that's really convenient for people, and I love that.
I'm gonna tell a weird and vulnerable
Oh, I love
story.
weird vulnerable stories.
So, I have a very short commute. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts when I was bicycling full time
Mm,
to and from my business,
yeah.
but I had one business. So now I need to drive for time sake,
Yeah.
because it takes a lot of time to run multiple businesses. So my best podcast listening time right now is when I'm shaving my head and my beard in the shower because it takes me longer than I've ever had to spend on my hair.
That is so good.
So I will just put on an episode of What the Nell and I will go about my grooming routine.
So here's okay. So if you're telling me, hey, well, listen back to that episode, that's great. Then I know you've shaved your head. That's awesome.
Yep.
No, Mikey, I think a lot of people, I know I listen to podcasts in the shower for sure. Let me tell you, sometimes I pack my schedule in so much. And I'm a big fan of time blocking because I don't have a commute. My commute is literally across the hall. So I think sometimes that makes me think I can pack my schedule in as much as humanly possible down to the very minute, which isn't always great. If shower is not on my schedule, it's probably not happening. So when it does happen, I'm like, ooh, I can listen to this episode I've really been wanting to listen to. So I pop that thing on, I'm in the shower, and I'm also listening, as I'm putting makeup on or, what have you. I can't listen when I'm drying my hair because, sound of hair dryers.
I
And if
don't have that
anybody,
problem.
no, and if anybody knows of a very quiet hair dryer, please let me know. But, there are things that we can do to get to consume this content, and while we're not even thinking about it, are you, cleaning your house? Like, put an episode on, consume that content that is worthy.
Oh my gosh, I would love to keep you company while you're using your eco-friendly cleaners,
Right?
dusting from top to bottom.
Right?
Uh, Turn the volume up when you're vacuuming, but
Mhm.
we're here for you all.
Yeah, we are. We are here. And yeah, I think that, yeah, that was definitely a favorite episode. I was really looking forward to that one too. But I loved talking to all of our guests. I think they were just amazing. They offered so much, and I'm really, really happy that we had them on. And we approached a different topic this season too that we didn't ever address in season one, and that was spirituality, sustainability. That was pretty cool. I didn't know how that would work, and I think it did work.
I think it did work too, and I think we found the perfect guest to start that conversation because it was
Yeah.
somebody who was well versed in, more of the traditional, like religious aspect of
Hmm.
spirituality, but then to tie it together with eco-friendliness and the
Mm.
things that we champion here on the Ecopreneur's Edge, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of a better person to start that conversation, and I'm looking forward to continuing that over the next,
Yes.
however many seasons we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah, I love what we're doing. I love talking about the AI and sustainability because that is such a hot button topic. And then the financial too, because it's necessary. It truly is.
It really is, and I know that we've touched on that in both seasons, but
Mhm.
that's because it just keeps coming back to in my experience, it is such a coachable topic,
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's
my
very
gosh.
uh I don't want to say understudied because a lot of people study the heck out of it, but
Yeah.
it's not widespread or common, if you will.
No.
So we're going to keep talking about that too.
Yeah, we are. And there's a lot of fear and surrounding money and finances. And I think starting to chip away at that fear is a good thing. And if we can help people do that, Fred, our guest, talked about, getting educated with financials. And I mean, I think that's really, really important. And starting to help people break through some of that fear. To be financially sustainable is really important. So it's just, I mean, you know, I guess people have favorite children and favorite things, but it's really hard to pick a favorite from this season.
It was also good. I'm just gonna go ahead and give a shout out to all of our guests because
Yeah.
I know I love hearing my name. So,
Yeah.
well, I'll go in the order to which my brain remembers them. So Fred Felona, our financial guru
Hmm.
for our financial sustainability episode, was
Hmm.
amazing. Kevin from
Hmm.
Intertwined FC at
Yes.
Intertwined FC on Instagram
Yep.
for our spiritual sustainability episode. We
Hmm.
had Misha Saunders from Pole Poised and
Yep.
Moxie Moves at
Yep.
Pole Poised and at Moxie Moves. Um, and then we had Kelly
Hmm.
McGonnell from the Dauphin County Recycling Center, the
Hmm.
director there, who shared so many brilliant things and
Hmm.
frustrations
Yeah.
on how to
Yeah.
do recycling and or make it better. And am I forgetting anyone?
Dan.
Dan, oh my goodness, I knew. I was like, wait, I feel like my list isn't over. So Dan, who is an amazing, very close colleague and friend of mine, founder of the Green Beauty community, and actually later today, when we're recording this, I have to host a Green Beauty community live production. So if you can't get
Nice.
enough of me here, you can always pop over to the Green Beauty community. I host every first and third Monday, a live production that is also available for lifetime replays on our greenbeautycommunity.com website. So
Awesome.
thank you, guests. We appreciate all of your time, effort, dedication,
Yes.
energy,
Yeah.
money, whatever.
We appreciate you absolutely. And I do want to say a shout out to our listeners and our viewers as well, because you show up every week and we really appreciate that. We know it's your time, and your time is your most valuable asset. And so if you're spending some of it with us, we're very grateful and appreciative of you choosing uh, these episodes.
Yes, 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 and yes. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
all the S's.
I tell everyone that time is our most valuable resource, so choosing to spend it with us is just amazing. But I'm
Yeah.
also going to give a huge shout out to Nell because I know that I've told this story behind the scenes, but I'm going to share it. in front of the scenes now.
Whoa!
Nell, thank you so much for doing this, for starting this, for showing me that consistency and dedication in the podcasting realm was possible, and it was possible in my backyard, in my local communities.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily want to partner with somebody in Seattle or Hollywood, California. I wanted to do it with somebody here. And my dream when it came to podcasting was just to be the Robin
Yeah.
to Howard Stern. So I don't want to say that you're my Howard Stern, no, but I have so many things going on. I knew that I couldn't undertake a full podcast series. So for you to do that and then to humbly accept my invitation to be on the show, because I was like, no, I'm doing this. And you said yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm enjoying every moment.
You're so welcome, Mikee. I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this with me. I think that the ideas that you've brought to the work that you do to secure topics and guests and information and everything, it's part of the consistency in podcasting is making sure that, you're producing the content that people want to hear and need to hear. And without you doing a lot of that work, some of these episodes wouldn't be possible. And so I appreciate you for showing up every time we set a date to record. Just showing up, it means so much. And it's been really fun. I also really appreciate, I mean, this is very self-serving, but, when I don't have an episode of What the Nell, like a regular traditional episode, I have an EcoPreneur's episode. It's there. And being consistent is a lot of that too. It's there. It's easy to say, you know what, I'm going to put this episode out because it's going to go out and it's worthy and people need to hear it. So I appreciate that for sure.
You just reminded me, I'll have to be like a guest on a What the Nell episode coming up.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. And then people can really get to know you. And then we can encourage people to tune into these episodes. It's like answer the question of why should I listen to you?
Yes.
Why are you
let
qualified?
me invite you in.
So, well, this was the season 2 wrap up episode, and I think we are going to wrap it up here. So, Mikee, I can't thank you enough. I just can't.
Right back at you now. I'm looking forward to, doing our brainstorming session for, what went perfectly in season 2, what we can do better, and then just coming up with, as much value as we can for season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll take a little bit of time off and brainstorm on our own personal accords, and then we'll get back together, do that, and then start recording episodes. So if you are interested in being a guest, don't delay, act now, hit us up, and we'll schedule a recording date and time that works for everyone. So get excited, people. We are coming back. So I thank you. We thank you for listening, for spending time with us. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you sign up for notifications too when we release episodes so you don't miss one. And like the videos, pass it along to a friend, comment on the videos. We'd love to hear from you. If you are listening on your favorite audio platform, don't forget to leave us a review. We want to grow. We want to continue bringing more content, more awesome, valuable content to you. So thank you from both of us. We love you all, and we will definitely catch you on the next one.
To learn more about how to tell your story, connect with Nell at enticingmedia.com. That's ENTICEING media.com. Thanks for listening to the What the Nell podcast.